Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Batwoman, issue number 2. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, there's a few important things that we learned from Batwoman issue number 1. First and foremost is anything that's been done with Batwoman before Flashpoint is still considered canon. So if you picked up the detective issues that she was part of, still canon. I even think her stuff from 52 is still canon. It should be. Second thing we learn is that Flamebird, Betty King, is now working with Batwoman and being in training to be her partner or her sidekick. However, Batwoman's kind of holding her back and testing her to see exactly how ready she is to take up any mantle, whether it be Flamebird or some other identity. And next, we also learn of a new villain, kind of. It's a monster, ghost thingy, which name I'm not sure was officially given, but they call it the Weeping Woman in this, so I'm just going to call her the Weeping Woman, who's going around and, well, killing people and abducting kids and doing all that fun kind of stuff. So, those are the important stuff that we learned from issue number 1, and issue number 1 was, of course, good. So will issue number 2 be as good, if not better, or will it be worse? Just gonna have to wait and see. So let's jump into issue number 2 of Batwoman. The issue starts off with Batwoman talking about the discussion that she had with Batman to Flamebird. She's basically telling Flamebird, as they're kicking a bunch of villains, bad guys, and all these criminals, is that Batman offered her to be part of Batman Inc. And she has not quite decided on whether or not she wants to be part of it. She thinks the idea is either incredibly insane or a stroke of genius. While this is going on, we see Maggie Sawyer and Batwoman kind of get closer together, kind of actually start to be more of a couple. They go on their first date, and they talk a little bit, and they actually start to get a little bit closer, which I actually like how that relationship's going. It doesn't feel too forced or too rushed. It's taking it nice and slow and steady, and actually feels kind of natural. We also learned that a new government agent is in town looking for Batwoman, trying to unmask her. She believes that Maggie Sawyer is Batwoman, but she's not 100% sure. Boy, is she wrong. But she's willing to go to any extent to find out exactly who Batwoman is. And in addition to that, a bunch of mutated individuals, whether they're demons or the genetically altered animal people that we saw from the previous Batwoman comics, has gone into a gang war. And of course, the Weeping Woman is around causing trouble too. Will Batwoman be able to handle all the stuff that's on her plate? Training Flamebird, working with Batman, dealing with the Weeping Woman, and these gang fights, while at the same time keeping her identity hidden and having a stable relationship with Maggie Sawyer? Wow, that's a lot on your plate. Well, you're just going to have to read and see. Let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Like I said, the relationship between Maggie Sawyer and Batwoman is progressing nicely, and it doesn't feel like it's rushed to force. They're having a nice little relationship. They're going on a few dates. That's all, which is good. I like how it's going, and it's taking its time to develop rather than just throwing it in our face. We're getting to see a little bit more of Batwoman's character. Not necessarily, I guess, right out front in front of you, but we get to see more about how she thinks, how she acts, and how she works on cases, and how she tries to handle different situations. It's more of a tactics kind of thing, seeing how she thinks and how she strategizes, than actually personality, but we get to see a little bit more Batwoman in that aspect. We also get to see a little bit more of Flamebird in this, although I would have liked to see a little bit more of her actually starting to become more of a character, but we get to see a little bit more Flamebird in this, and I like what's going on with her and Batwoman. I also like that Batwoman didn't decide to jump right into Batman Inc. I don't know why, I guess it just makes her stand out. And lastly, the Weeping Woman case. I'm interested. I want to see more about it. Bad. It feels a lot like there's a lot going on here, and it takes a lot to digest. Like I said just now, I'm interested in that Weeping Woman stuff, but we really haven't done too much about it since issue number 1. She kind of appears here, and then Batwoman trails off to find her. There's a lot of other stuff that goes on in the process. Second thing is, while I do like, for the most part, Batwoman's character design, I think in her civilian identity, they make her way too pale. It looks angelic and very cool when she's Batwoman, but it's starting to look very weird when she's in her normal civilian clothes. That, and I don't like the arm tattoo. The other tattoos I don't mind. The arm tattoo just looks a little off. But that's just her skin tone. The rest of her looks fine. On the whole, whether or not you should get it. Issue number 2, I have to say, was better than issue number 1, although I feel as though they're still throwing a lot at us at once. It's not too much. I do recommend getting this. This is a good, solid series. Uh, is it the best in the Batman series? Probably not, but it's definitely a strong contender. It holds its own. It has good art. It has good story, and it has a very how should I say? Very supernatural Legends of the Dark Knights kind of feel. If you've read any of the Legend of the Dark Knights stuff, for example, how about Batman in Other Realms, or Batman Monsters, or I don't know. If you just let's say Dark Legends, it has kind of that tone to it. It's very dark, kind of supernatural, and it has kind of an uncomfortable feeling. But it works in a good way. It's a good uncomfortable. I do recommend picking this up. A solid 4 stars. If I was to give it a rating, I'm doing a lot of ratings now. Might as well go with it. So 4 stars, good issue. Better than the first. I liked it. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.